this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. Banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market is still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Hello and welcome to the Phil's Gang Radio Show, coast to coast, the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. My name is Alex Scott, sitting in for Phil Grande. Hope everyone had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Also helping out with the Phil's Gang Radio Show is the Gang's Director of Education, Steve. Hello, Steve. How was your weekend, sir?
Hey, Alex. Good afternoon to you. My weekend was great, nice and relaxing. Got to spend some time with my kids. Loved it. Hopefully you got to do much of the same.
Well, actually, my wife has a different definition of Labor Day, so she put me to work, yard work.
Well, I had to do a little bit of that myself, to be honest with you, but
that's all right, though.
It's what keeps my neck red, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and plus it's it's that spare time that we all need once in a while. So Phil has been talking about this coming market crash, and it might be the biggest in history, and a lot of people are looking for clarification on that. Now, of course, you can't predict exactly when this will happen, but we can definitely see the signs. And I was checking out some of the things that I see that through the economy, it's a little different, a little odd. And Steve, are you familiar with MMT? It's modern monetary theory or modern money theory.
I have heard it before, but don't ask me to educate anybody on it.
Well, I'm gonna do the best that I can. I'm still trying to understand it myself, but it seems that the federal government and the Fed's approach to the economy is eerily similar to MMT, which is a heterodox macroeconomic theory that describes currency as a public monopoly and unemployment as evidence that a currency monopolist is overly restricting the supply of the financial assets needed to pay taxes and satisfy savings desires. MMT is opposed to mainstream understanding of macroeconomic theory and has been criticized by many mainstream economics. According to Business Insider, and here's some bullet points on it, MMT is a big departure from conventional economic theory. It proposes governments that control their own currency can spend freely, as they can always create more money to pay off debts in their own currency. The theory suggests government spending can grow the economy to its full capacity, enrich the private sector, eliminate unemployment, and finance major programs such as universal health care, free college tuition, and green energy. That last statement sounds like Bolshevik Bernie and Pocahontas. Even U.S. Representative Alexandria Cortez is also a fan of MMT. She said modern monetary theory should be a larger part of the conversation. In an interview with Business Insider in 2019, I'll go ahead and play this cut. This is cut one.
An unconventional economic theory is gaining some traction thanks to the policy teams of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders.
I think the first thing that we need to do is break the mistaken idea that taxes pay for 100% of government expenditure.
My critics say, you know, Bernie, that's a great idea. You're into all this free stuff. How you gonna pay for it?
Now, when any of these two say that a certain approach to the economy is a good idea, well, we definitely want transparency and clarification on that. If the spending generates a government deficit, this isn't a problem either. The government's deficit is, by definition, the private sector's surplus. Increased government spending will not generate inflation as long as there is unused economic capacity or unemployed labor, MMT proposes. It is only when an economy hits physical or natural constraints on its productivity, such as full employment, that inflation happens, because that is when supply fails to meet demand, jacking up prices. MMT proponents argue governments can control inflation by spending less or withdrawing money from the economy through taxes. Needless to say, traditional economists have some issues with all of this, and I can see why. To understand where MMT is coming from, it's useful to start with two recent occasions when Chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve admitted that the government can print all the money it needs and nothing bad happens. Central bankers almost never say things like this, which is why the statements are so interesting. Even Alan Greenspan stated, "There's nothing to prevent the federal government creating as much money as it wants."
Well, I wouldn't say that the pay-as-you-go benefits are insecure in the sense that there's nothing to prevent the federal government from creating as much money as it wants and paying it to somebody.
In 2005, in testimony to the U.S. House Committee on the Budget, former Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan was asked by then U.S. Rep. Paul Ryan about the solvency of the Social Security system, which Americans rely on for retirement payments. Many Americans worry that Social Security will become insolvent before they retire. In part, that was Greenspan's response, which was cut to. Then in 2009, former Fed Chair Ben Bernanke was interviewed on CBS's 60 Minutes about the federal government's $1 trillion bailout of the banking system in the 2008 financial crisis. Bernanke was asked if the $1 trillion came from taxpayers. In part, this was Bernanke's answer.
The lesson of history is that you do not get a sustained economic recovery as long as the financial system is in crisis.
And he also claimed that it was not from the taxpayers. So they were printing money. Traditionally, economics understand money creation or money printing as being inherently bad. Don't ever try excessive money creation. That's what we're warned. But that raises a question. If creating new money out of thin air creates inflation, why was there no inflation when Bernanke created $1 trillion in assets to save the banks during the financial crisis? $1 trillion is actually the lower end of the bailout estimate. A paper by Levy Economic Institute argued the cost was as high as $29 trillion. So MMT theorists argue that mere money creation on its own cannot be the cause of inflation. It must be something else, and we're going to talk about that when we get back. But if you want to find out more about what we do here at Phil's Gang, you can go to philsgang.com. And to curb that curiosity as well, you can join the gang for 10 days free. I mean, I'm not going to pass up free, that's for sure, especially when it's going to help me make profits. It's going to help me make more money. That's what investing is all about. If you have any questions, you can call us 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Before you do that, just go ahead and go to the website and check out all of what we offer there. We offer something for everyone, whether it be a long-term investor, if you're a swing trader, a day trader, we have something for you. And like I said, the best part is you can join free for 10 days. When you go to the website, you'll see that button, Get Started. Simply click on that and choose the working investor. So when we come back, we'll talk more about MMT. Don't go anywhere.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable. African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
and we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hello and welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. My name is Alex Scott, sitting in for Phil Grande. Phil and Marta are on vacation and will return next week. Also joining us is Steve, Phil's Gang Director of Education. And in the first segment, we were discussing the modern monetary theory, or MMT, and how the federal government and the Fed's approach to the economy is very similar to this theory, and that the MMT theorists argue that mere money creation on its own cannot be the cause of inflation, and it must be something else, even though we are seeing inflation rise due to its approach of the economy. So, in macroeconomics 101 classes, everyone learns about the collapse of the Zimbabwe economy in the late 1990s and mid-2000s when Robert Mugabe's regime printed ever more Zimbabwean dollars. The Zimbabwean dollar was so devalued that the country even printed a 100 trillion note as legal tender. That's crazy. Something similar happened during the Weimar Republic when the German government, in defeat after World War I, printed money to pay its bills. Hyperinflation set in, and people needed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy loaves of bread. The war had destroyed Germany's productive capacity, but the Allies were insisting it pay reparations far in excess of the ability of the shattered German economy to pay. So the government printed money. When a lack of productive supply met demand from excess cash, hyperinflation was the results. I don't know what's going on with me today. Maybe if I put on my glasses, that would help. Ha ha. It is the lack of goods or labor or capacity that triggers inflation, MMT argues. In fact, this is exactly what MMT proposes that the government does. Funnel money into the economy, driving businesses to hire more people and consumers to demand more goods and services. The existence of unemployment is clear de facto evidence that net government spending is too small to move the economy to full employment, wrote Phil Armstrong of York College in 2015. The government must use its position as a monopoly issuer of the currency to ensure full employment. Now, catch what he says there. The government must use its position as a monopoly issuer of the currency to ensure full employment. This is scary stuff here, and this is what they're pushing on Americans, especially in college now, is a socialistic, communistic ideology. When the private sector fails to provide full employment, MMT advocates support the idea of a jobs guarantee that provides government-funded jobs to anyone who wants or needs one. The spending on such a program would be capped when the economy reaches full employment. So they're suggesting that you get a job with the government, period. Well, what if I don't want to work for the government? Well, too bad. When do you know that the government has spent enough? when the last worker has walked into a job guarantee office to pick up a job, says Mitchell. This is nuts. But this is the norm for the thought process. Forms of federal job guarantees have existed in the past. In 2002, Argentina introduced the JEFS program, which offered a job to the head of every household and paid a basic wage. JEFS participants worked on local community projects, such as building and maintaining schools, hospitals, and community centers, baking, sewing, clothing, and recycling, and repairing sewers and sidewalks. Now, these jobs they're basically infrastructure jobs. And think about it, the infrastructure bill that they're pushing right now. This is what it sounds like. In 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt began rolling out his New Deal, which provided a wage to unemployed people to build schools, hospitals, airports, roads, bridges, and other infrastructure. And during World War II, most Western governments spent heavily on military and armaments to finance the war. Policies deriving from MMT will be attractive politically, according to Warren Mosler, the American financier and sports car designer who helped develop and spread MMT. We'll get single-payer health care and all that, he told Business Insider. So it sounds to me, and Steve, I know you're hearing all this, it sounds to me like this is being written.
Communism?
Yeah, MMT. And it's being written by one percenters, people that actually don't have to worry about money.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, as you were reading over that, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was communism. When you have to get a job in the government.
Through the government, that's right.
I mean, that, to me, I actually talked to a fellow about 2 or 3 months ago. He called me, and this guy was in his mid to late 70s, and he had come from the Ukraine. Now, him and his mom came over by boat back in, I believe he said it was the 70s. He said that was the first time in his life that he actually felt freedom. He said because what communism is once the government will knock on your door and they will ask you if you can do a job. If you cannot do that job, they will shoot you dead in the street because you're not of any value to them.
Yeah, I've known quite a few people from the Ukraine, being from the Detroit myself. Some of them find their way over to Detroit, but this is what we're dealing with now, Steve. And it's coming from the oligarchies, the upper echelon, if you will. And this is not all. And we'll go over more of this when we get back from break. But this is scary stuff, especially when it's disguised just like Franklin Roosevelt, where it's disguised as infrastructure. And it's a disguise. That's what it is. Because there's a means to an end. Want to know more about Phil's Gang and what we do here? Go to philsgang.com. On the homepage, click on Get Started. Choose the Working Investor and join the gang free for 10 days. You can't beat that. And you're going to find out more than just the Working Investor. So call us, 877-600-GANG. Be back. And when you start making money, before we go, it's very important that you give back to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month? philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grande and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Hello and welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show, coast to coast, the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. My name is Alex Scott, sitting in for Phil Grande. If you caught segment 1 and segment 2 of the show, excuse me, I've been discussing MMT, or modern monetary theory, which seems to be the way in which we are going with the economy. And I want to finish up here and get to some stocks. I'm going to play a cut from Stephanie Kelton, Bernie Sanders' economic advisor from 2016 to 2020 on modern monetary theory. Now listen close to what she says.
So MMT starts with a simple observation, and that is that the U.S. dollar is a simple public monopoly. In other words, the United States currency comes from the United States government. It can't come from anywhere else. So what that means is that the federal government is nothing like a household. In order for households or
I'm going to stop right there, and I'll play the second part. But if you heard what she says, I mean, there's so many questions that I have now because of that comment or that observation. And that's the way Stephanie Kelton puts it. It's an observation. So what is she observing? Because it's not reality that she's looking at, not to mention what she's implying. The implication that the U.S. dollar is a simple public monopoly is a scary thing. Hey, because you got to think, monopoly of what? The U.S. dollar or the people? Or the U.S. dollar monopolizing the people? I mean, let's be clear, because to monopolize can only be one of four things, okay? One, obtain exclusive possession or control of a trade, commodity, or service. Two, have or take the greatest share of. Three, get or keep exclusively to oneself. Or four, all of the above. And when you put it in terms like that, and I quote, the United States currency comes from the United States government and cannot come from anywhere else except for the government because the government is not run like a household. The intent is clear there. Full control over everything and everyone. For their definition is unlike the foundation of economics. Economics, which is Greek, being made up of two words, oikos and nomos. Oikos meaning house, and nomos meaning law, and you put them together, law of the house or household management. And I'm going to play the second part of her comment or observation here.
in order for households or private businesses to be able to spend, they've got to come up with the money, right? And the federal government, it can never run out of money. It cannot face a solvency problem, bills coming due that it can't afford to pay. It never has to worry about finding the money in order to be able to spend.
What is she talking about? I'm trying to understand all this. So is she saying that the federal government can never run out of money because it has a printing press that can print nonstop? Or is she saying the federal government is not of the Commonwealth and it cannot run out of money, claim bankruptcy, and shut their doors forever? And if she is comparing the Commonwealth by saying the federal government has no solvency issues and will always be able to pay its bills, then why does the U.S. have a $29 trillion national debt? Why? Why is debt per citizen at $86,218 per year and the debt for the taxpayer at $228,322 per year? And the reason why the U.S. never has issue with finding the money to spend is because it's printed out of thin air and backed by hardworking Americans. It's not backed by silver and gold standard. It's not backed by commodities that we create. The American people are the commodities. I mean, how do we make sure that we stay relevant as the middle class? We invest. We invest in the market. And here to help us understand how and just how easy it is Steve. And Steve is going to do something we call Stock Corner. You with me, Steve?
I'm with you here. Yeah. Geez. When you said MMT, I was thinking of, wrestling or something else, anyways. Looking at stocks today, first of all, what we have to look at is our 10-year yield, because the 10-year yield, typically that determines which direction our banks are going to go or our big tech stocks. Right now, we know if the yield is up, then the banks will start to lead the way if everything's going as it should. In the last month, every time the banks or the 10-year yield got up to 1.30 or higher, the banks started to push up strongly. And the big tech stocks like Apple and Microsoft, they would drop. Today, the 10-year yield's at 1.37 currently, which is higher than it's been in over a month, maybe longer than that, and the banks aren't moving. They're not going anywhere. And that should tell us that we need to start being careful with, how many shares we have in. We want to make sure our stops are tight and in place. Even though the market's only down about 186 points currently, we got to be careful. And at the same time, some of the stocks that are big techs that should be dropping are actually breaking out nicely today. And one of those stocks is Apple. So looking at Apple, and I'm going to use my Pro 2 color-coded chart just to show you where it's at right now. You can see that Apple, I told the gang in class this morning to make sure that it broke out and got up to about 156.75 before they added, and currently we're at 156.89. So anybody out there who's a gang member using that Pro 2 color-coded chart knows that they can add to their Apple position right now.
And just to add to that, Steve, for our listeners, nobody does that. Nobody's going to watch their chart and go out of their way to give you a phone call or create a class and say, hey, this is what I need you to do. When it breaks through 157 and some change, add to your position. Nobody does that. Not unless you're worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, or you're Warren Buffett. I'm sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with you there, Alex. I mean, that is what I do for you every day. I'm letting you know every day what to do with our position, okay? And I track Caterpillar, Goldman Sachs, Intel, Schlumberger, Lowe's, the spiders, right, SPY. I cover about 5 inverse ETFs, and if you don't know what those are, I teach you about that in class. But in order to learn, you got to join the gang so you can follow me, so I can teach you the pattern recognition, so you'll know when to buy, when to add to a position, when to short a position, or when to run like hell. And that's what we do here for you every single day. We're not just going to give you, hey, it's time to buy, it's time to sell, which is very easy, and that benefits you certainly. But one day, we may not be here. Now, I hope we're here forever. But you need to learn on your own so that you can take advantage of it, so that you can always be ahead, so you'll always know, and you won't need to rely on anybody else. And that's my job, is to teach you how to rely on yourself.
That's right.
So that you can go in, make money, and then donate it to whatever charity. Now, we prefer the kids over at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, but, I mean, you can donate to anybody. The Southeast Guide Dogs, the Wounded Warrior Program. There are many, many charities out there that could use help, especially in the last year or so with this pandemic going on.
And I don't want to cut you off. We have less than 30 seconds yet. Don't forget that we're not only teaching you how to go long or be in a long position, we also teach you how to short, which is extremely important, especially if we have a crash in the market. Shorting will change your life. And a lot of people are afraid of shorting. It's high risk, but the rewards are unbelievable.
Well, yeah, learn to make money on the way down, not just on the way back up.
That's right. So if you want to learn more about what we do, go to philsgang.com. It's 10 days free. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com. Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of the people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you start making money, please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Hello and welcome back to Phil's Gang, the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. My name is Alex, sitting in for Phil Grande. Since Phil is on vacation, I took the opportunity to ask Phil a few questions before he left. One of the questions asked was, how can a market one day be down 400 points and the next morning it's projected to open at 150 points? Phil always gives an interesting answer, so let's listen to something that I call Phil's take.
Well, that's an interesting question because I get asked this all the time. How is it that the market can be down 400 points and you wake up the next morning and it's up, the estimated opening's up 150 points? What happened overnight to make it go from minus 400 up to 150? Nothing. It's called financial engineering. Okay, remember how the market works. When you have a financially engineered market, anytime that our owners decide, and they make the markets, they make the booms and they make the busts. And when they decide to link our stock market to financial engineering to benefit them through inflation, okay, which they do. And when you see a market down, then all of a sudden next day it's up again. It's simple. What they did is they have money. Right now they've got $4.4 trillion set aside for every time the market goes down. They go back in and they purchase what they call equity index futures. All it does is place a bid just below an existing price. So let's say the S&P, I don't know, just say the S&P, you're trading at, 451 bucks. And they'll put a price in for October out in the future, 651 bucks. So that means it's supported. They support it. So nobody's going to short it. When they go in and put a bid in, who would short it? That's why the market's only corrected 5% in 296 days, 300 days, because that's what they do. Now you take that little scam. Okay, so that we never have a correction more than 5%, and it's, like I said, I think now it's 300 days. So that's what they do. That's called the equity index futures, and what that does is when they see, especially the hedge funds, they're the big boys. They make the markets move up and down. When they identify the government has intervened to support the market, they love it. They love it, as well as all the other institutions. So they start front-running, okay, the bids. Okay, and so it forces the institutions to cover their short position. And that's why you see all of a sudden a negative market close down 400 points during the night or at the end of the day, and then the next morning you're up 400 points. So that's one trick they have. So all you can do, they make trading so much more difficult than it has to be. Now, you don't need to know. The beautiful thing about having the market tied to financial engineering, no longer do you have to make decisions on a stock that you buy through fundamentals, profit margins, operating margins, EBITDA. That's earnings before interest and taxes and depreciation and amortization, EBITDA. Return on assets, return on equity, operating cash flow, free cash flow. You used to have to know all that stuff. And you used to go and have to go from, compare the stock you're buying to the rest of the stocks in that same industry. It was a lot of work. And today, you don't need to do that. You don't have to even know anything about a stock, because the stock is no longer connected to the stock market. It isn't. Remember, companies or the economy is something that produces goods, and then they take those goods and they distribute those goods. That's a business. Now, the stock market represents the ownership in those businesses. The stock market used to be a place where they used to go and raise money. I know, I brought 2 companies public. And so what they're doing is they took the production out. They don't care about production anymore. If you don't have production of goods, you don't have distribution. Profits go down. But the stock keeps going up, isn't it, in price? Isn't that interesting? When you don't produce goods and there's a shortage of goods, I'll give you an example I talked about the other day. Papers for my wife Mara's little dog. You put it in this little pan. I was buying the same papers at Publix for years. They're gone. I can't get them anymore. I asked the guy at the store, what's going on? He said, we have a shortage. I have a shortage. They don't have enough people to make this stuff. Well, of course not. Why would people go to work when they're under the 2.1 trillion American Family Plan or 2 trillion American Rescue Plan? What the hell? Who's going to go to work when you got the 3 trillion CARES Act, or when they're sending you $1,400 a month? And then they're paying your back mortgage payments and your back utilities, and they're paying your back association fees. This is nuts. So when you take production out of the stock market, what you got to do is follow the money to make money. And how do you follow the money? Well, you take the stocks, okay, that lead the market. That's where you want to be, tech and banks. And with the color-coded chart, all you need to do is take 5 stocks, the 5 best stocks in the S&P, okay, make them up between the S&P and the Dow 30, the S&P 100 and the Dow 30. Just pick 5 of the best stocks. And that's all you stay with. And then have a couple bonus stocks. And what people don't understand, once you got the 5 great stocks, what tells you when to buy and when to sell is the money going in, the money going out. But nobody ever had a chart that really tracked the money. What everybody bought a stock on was the BS from the stock from the fake businesses and network. That's what the hell they bought a stock on, like this idiot here.
Check out media acquisition company Vinco Ventures, ticker BBIG. It is soaring.
That's the last stock I would ever buy. My chart tells me it's red. Even though it's going up, it's going straight up. When stocks go straight up without buy signals, that's all massive short covering. That means it's going to come back half or going to give it all back. He doesn't say that. So they make it more difficult than it is. So if you have a chart and you take a look at it, it tells me, oh, wait a minute, yeah, it's soaring, but for the wrong reasons. Look, it's red. Not enough money. It's not sustainable. Oh, there's no buy signals as this thing went up. Oh, it's going to come back. And then you just watch your chart. The chart's red. So it's telling you not to be in it. If it turns green, we buy. There's so much, okay? I mean, it's so easy, the stock market, if you just follow the money, not the crap.
That's right. We are chartists. That's what we follow. We follow proprietary charts that Phil has created, and his 50 years experience, over 50 years experience in the market will shine through in these charts. And even Steve has put forth a lot of his ideas and expressions within the charts as well through development of the software, and they work. I didn't, before I came to Phil's Gang and back in 2013, I didn't know a whole lot about the stock market. I mean, I knew some. I wasn't fresh to the market, but I had no idea that it literally could be this easy to make money, because once you block out all the noise, once you block out the fundamentals, this isn't your grandfather's market anymore. All right, fundamentals doesn't mean a thing anymore.
Well, one thing that Phil said in his clip there was, who the hell wants to go to work when they're printing all this money and when they've got all these programs to keep people at home? And I have an answer for that. I do. I want to go to work. I want to go to work for you. I want to help you make the money. I want to help you be able to donate money to the kids over at St. Jude, and I want you to have a better life. So come join the gang, free for 10 days. You get the Pro 2 color-coded chart along with that. 10 days for free. Give us a try. philsgang.com. We'll see you on the charts.
Man, I'm glad you said I let you finish there, because I was going to tell you me. That's what we do here. We want to work, and we want to work for you, man. Make it life easier. This is Phil's Gang. Go to philsgang.com. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Bill Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.